Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to be, or I'm basically going to give you guys tips on how to be a successful host family. August, September, and October are like the 3 months where a lot of au pairs come in because it's like end of summer, the old au pairs are leaving and new au pairs are coming. Or first-time host families are joining because of summer break, and after summer break they want somebody who's going to be to take care of the kids. And so in this video, I am going to be talking about ways that you can have a successful year as au pairs and as host family. Number one, be considerate of one another. So even though I know there's the whole 40-hour thing, I'm not saying go over it and like abuse that whole rule, everything. But what I am saying is like, just be considerate of one another. There's gonna be times where your host family is gonna come home and like you can see your host mom or your host dad, he's meant to take over the kids and he's honoring your time. He comes back, he's like, yo, I'm back, whatever. But you can see that he still has a lot of work to do. Or you could just see that he's out of it, or like something happened at work, or there's a death in the family, or he's not feeling well. And so he just needs like 20 minutes just to himself, or like 30 minutes to himself. At that moment, I as an au pair would offer be like, yo, having said this is a good host family. And so I'd be like, no, it's fine. Go do what you need to do. You just need to run to the store. Or he just needs to go buy a sandwich, or like he needs to go to Popeyes, McDonald's, or whatever. Be like, no, it's fine. I'm not going anywhere. Look after the kids. I'll have the kids for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. He goes, he does his thing. And then vice versa. You as a host family, you come home, you see your au pair, maybe she's meant to knock off at like 6 o'clock, and you get home at like 5:15, 5:30, and you see that she's either super tired or she's just not feeling well. Think of her and be like, you know what, we know you need to work until 6, but it's fine, like go chill, go rest, go do your thing. Or if she needs to go somewhere and you guys know that, listen, we're back early and she really needs to go somewhere, she wanted to go somewhere, she mentioned she has an event happening at night, be like, we're back, you don't have to watch the kids, we got the kids for you. Because I promise you, in the long run, that kind of relationship is gonna help both of you, because there's gonna be a time where even though the au pair hasn't finished her 40 hours, the fact that you consider it of her is gonna go both ways, because she is gonna be like, oh my gosh, we finished our 40 hours for the week, but my host family, for example, needs me to take care of the kids. She wouldn't have an attitude for it because she knows that you guys would do the same for her. And so be considerate with that. Also, another thing I would say is that, like, if you're taking out the dishwasher today, don't be like, oh, it's the au pair's hour, so she must take out the dishwasher. Take out the dishwasher, empty out the dishwasher if you can, and vice versa. The au pair, if it's the weekend and you see your host mom is like busy, maybe you got 3 kids in the house and she's super busy, help out there, because I promise you, host families that have done that for me, I've had 4 families and 2 host families who are like that. I, without hesitation, have been like, no, it's fine, I got you, I'll cover you. Because I know that if something has to happen to me, and they've proved it so many times where when stuff happened for me, they covered me. They forgot about, oh, she has to work 40 hours, she's only done 20 this week. They're like, no, sure, we're here, go. Oh my gosh, your friend, why you didn't say early? We got the kids, go to the concert, don't worry, we have it, it's fine, you can leave an hour early. And it's like, like you enjoy the relationship more. It's almost like you enjoy being in a pair more, and you have that kind of understanding. So that's one of the things I would say. And what I forgot to mention in the beginning is that these are points or tips for people who want to have successful years, who in fact want to they genuinely care about having a relationship with the au pair. Because I know there are some host families, they're like, hey, we really don't care about your home country or like the cultural part of it. We just want childcare, we want somebody reliable. We've had a few au pairs, or maybe we've had nannies before and they said that an au pair is cheaper and living with somebody flexible. And so that aspect we don't care about. We just want you to do your job and disappear, basically. And vice versa. There are some au pairs that are like, listen, I just came to travel. I didn't come to build a relationship with host families. I came to travel. I want to do stuff. And so once I'm no longer working, I'm out this house. I leave when I knock off. So this is not a type of video for those people. If those are the people, like if that's your goal, either or host family or au pair, then this is not a video for you, because this is mainly on building a relationship and having a successful au pair year or host family here that benefits both parties. Number 2 is set ground rules and know what's expected. So I feel like when you have expectations for people and they're not met, that can instantly cause tension between you. And so as a host family, set ground rules when she comes. Like say, hey, we prefer eating, or like we prefer doing it this way than that way because like this. Or just say, I had a host family that was like, the daughter was severely allergic to something, and whenever they had events like that, the mom's like, I trust myself to go with the daughter anyway, so don't take her anyway, don't take her for outings, whatever. Versus other families where they're like, please take my child for outings, please. Because I would have been like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like she's off, let's go do this, let's go do that. Meantime, the mom's like mad at me because I did all these things. Whereas the mom, she's like, no, I prefer doing those kinds of things. I want you to help with the homework. I want you to make sure she eats. I want you to make sure she baths. And so when it comes to like the fun side, the mom wants to do that. And so set expectations, because you don't want to come home too cranky. Even if they don't tell you, they just become moody around you. And same with the au pair. Au pairs say kind of what you expect from your host family, because they don't read minds also. And so don't be like, oh, my friend's host family bought her a laptop and my friend's host family gave her a car. And so you come with that. You come expecting, because the girl in your neighborhood or the friend in your neighborhood, their host family, when she came, she got that. So you expecting that. It's not the same. And then also, like, say like the ground rules, like host family say like, we prefer you to get 8 hours. And then the au pair can be like, I don't know how I feel about that. Or say like with host families, don't smother the au pair and be like, I want to know your whereabouts, your address, your ID, and like everything when you go out, because that can like smother an au pair and make the au pair feel like they're a kid. Now there are safety rules, and maybe set standards as to be like, listen, I know you're an adult and I know you can do and go and say whatever you want to do, whatever. But please, if you don't feel safe, please call us no matter the time or day. Or like say like if you ever need help, or you want us to pick you up, or you want us to call you an Uber. That way she knows that she can come to you guys if she's stranded, and not like lie and be like, well, I don't know why I put in inverted commas, and not lie and be like, oh, I'm going to my friend's house, meantime she's going to her boyfriend's house. And then another thing is, au pairs are not required to tell you guys if they're dating. Now I know some host families have a problem with au pairs dating, and so I think that would be something you have to say from the get-go, like, hey, if you have a boyfriend, we would like to know. But if a host family has to tell me that, I don't know if I would want to match with them, because it will already show red flags. But I would, if they did say that to me, I would say respectfully, I don't think that's any of your business. I won't say it like that. I just say respectfully, I prefer to keep my life personal and private. And I don't even tell my mom, you know, when I'm dating someone, whatever, until I'm comfortable to say something. I think that should be a decision left to me, you know? So stuff like that. And then they can say, host families can say why. Also, don't compare your future or your current au pair to your previous au pair, because that's gonna cause problems for you. Number 3, my host family, the current one, we actually decided to do this, but it didn't last long. Do weekly check-ins or weekly meetings. That way you guys can see where you're at. So the au pair can be like, oh, and in the beginning it is gonna be awkward. So just that thing. But like do weekly check-ins, be like, hey, how's it going? Are you getting the cultural experience? How's the kids? Do you feel like you're adapting with the kids? And in the beginning, she may be like, yeah, everything is fine. But if you keep doing it, she's gonna open up. And then vice versa, the au pair will be like, hey, are you happy with how I work? Are you happy with this, whatever? And then as host family say, how can we make your experience better? How can we help you get the best out of this experience? And then as an au pair, also be like, how can I maybe get closer to the kids? How do I discipline the kids? And give examples, like on Friday, Tommy was doing this and he came straight to ask you instead of listening to me. Like, what can I do with those situations, because I just feel disrespected? And so stuff like that, the weekly check-ins, and it doesn't have to be like 5 or 10 hours. It can be literally 10 minutes, like, are you good? Be good, fine, whatever. And after a while, once you get that going, you may not need weekly check-ins, to be honest, because when stuff occurs, you guys will be so comfortable that we'll just talk about it in the kitchen and move on. We know, I think we had our weekly meetings for like 3 weeks. That's not even 3, 2 or 3 weeks, and then it was like done, because when stuff occurred, we just figured it out on the way and we solved it. But it definitely helps because it encourages communication. And as I said, you don't want unnecessary expectations. Even if it sounds crazy as an au pair or a host family, you rather say it and know that if it's not met, you can go from there and decide if this is a great match or not. Like if you're a host family and you want an au pair that's great at cooking and cleaning and like can multitask with 3 kids in her hand, then say that and say, this is what we expect. We are a go family and this is what we expect. And don't downplay it. And same with an au pair. Say, if you want a host family that's super generous, that spends all the money on you and does all these things, or goes on 5,000 vacations and buys you gadgets, say, this is what I kind of expected, this is what I was told I was going to get. And then it's up to you guys to be like, do we move forward, or how can we meet one another halfway? Don't rematch just because of that. Okay. So number 4, I know some host families do not want to hang out with their au pairs, or they feel like the au pairs are all over, but hang out with your au pair. And when I say hang out, I mean like, you don't have to go out the house or like go to fancy places, whatever. But I'm talking about in the house. It's great when the kids go to bed and it's just the au pair and the host family, and they're just talking in the kitchen or watching a show, or just like talking about the day and just having a conversation outside of the kids, or even if it's pertaining to the kids, but having a conversation as grown-ups, because it makes the au pair feel more comfortable, and it gives the host family a glimpse of the personality of the au pair also. And then this trust that's built because you guys are building a relationship, and you like start learning things like, oh, my host dad doesn't like this, or Angel doesn't like this, the au pair, or like so and so doesn't like this, or Jessica doesn't like this, or this is how Jessica does stuff. You start learning outside of like when you're taking this. When the kids are awake, the kids are running around, you're all entertaining these kids, trying to make sure these kids don't hurt one another, feed them, bath them, take them to activities. And so yeah, hang out, chill outside, it's sunny, chill outside, go to the pool, whether you'll go on trips or don't go on trips. Because what happens, and I've seen it with a lot of families, is that every time when the au pair is in town or at home, let's put it as at home, they don't hang out. So the au pair does a job, she's great, she smiles, everything is moving, the car's moving, and then she goes every day out the house to her friends, or she goes to her room, and then they all go on vacation. And that's where the problem comes in. It's like, oh, what do we do now? Like, they go on vacation and like the kids go to bed, and it's like, they may talk, whatever, but you don't really know. You've been living with these people for 6 months, but you haven't built a relationship outside, and so they don't know your interests. They're like, do you like this? Do you not like this? Oh, I didn't know. And it's also an opportunity to teach them about your culture. They can learn a lot. Like, why you took it. Most of the times where I teach my host family about South Africa, it's in those moments where I'm drinking tea, my host mom drinking tea, she teaches me about her tea, my host dad tells me about his beer, or like we talk about a show, we talk about South Africa, we talk about America, we have debates, and it's like stuff like that where it's like you get to experience the cultural part from au pairing. My last point: be consistent. There are so many host families that when you're in au pair and you're in your home country, they promise you the world. They're like, just get here. They want you to get here so bad that they say things that they know they're not going to deliver on. Therefore, the au pair is going to come expecting all these things and be disappointed. And so if you know that like you are a generous person, or you want to provide all these things, I prefer you not to say anything and let the au pair come and be surprised by all those things. And then also, for example, like my host family, when I was back in South Africa, the job my host dad had at the time, it seemed like he'd be always working from home on a Friday. This is pre-pandemic, and they told me, they're like, he's gonna be home, he's gonna be working, but you're still gonna take care of the kid. You're still gonna have to get up and get him to the bus, because he was like, sometimes I'll text you and say, don't worry, I got him, or sometimes I won't, because sometimes even though he's home, he still has to be on calls, he still had Zoom meetings, that kind of stuff. And so I came in knowing that. So I didn't expect on Fridays to be chilling, versus if they said on Fridays you don't have to work because host kid is chilling, I'd be like angry if I came, and it's like every Friday I'm like doing stuff. But I came in knowing that on Fridays I'm still gonna work, whether he's at home or not. And when he would text me and say, I don't need you today, it's fine, I got him, I'd be like, yes, a free, you know. But in my head I was working Friday. And then they also told me that their schedule changes a lot. They have like a very interesting schedule. And so I need to be okay, and they gave me like a typical day. And for real, like the pandemic hit, number one, and my host had changed companies, that whole thing. And so schedules changed and pandemic changed, and I just had to readjust, because they did say that the schedule can change at any time because of their jobs and that whole thing. And so I knew coming in that, listen, the schedule right now is pretty flexy, but it could change, you know. And so with stuff like that, where it's like, be consistent. And then also, don't be so nice when you on the Zoom call and then you get chat and you trash. And this goes both ways. Au pairs, don't say I can cook, I can clean, I like hiking, I like swimming, and then you go to these climate places where you live in Colorado, for example, and the parents are like, we want you outside hiking with the kids, and you're huffing and puffing, or you're like, no, I don't like outside, I'm cold all the time. or you say you can swim and you go to like Miami or Florida and the parents want you to take the kids to the pool all the time and they're like, I can't swim, like I don't want to swim. That's lying to people. So be consistent and like say I feel like from the Zoom call until you have to be consistent. Anyway, this is just general as I mentioned in the beginning, and so I will see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you're in host family or an au pair, come into the comment section and tell me, when does your year start? Are you currently a host family? Are you a new host family, first timer like my current host family? And so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.